What up, y'all? What's the deal, man? This is Lady Lee. You know who it is. I don't even have to explain myself. I'm the host of the Ish We Talk. Man, we miss y'all. We starting off the new year. I know this ain't the first show, but I always feel like every show is the first show because it should be the best show. We're gonna be talking about a couple of things we seen. We seen the Anton and Corey showdown. We're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about Druski and shout out to Fetty. Fetty's out. Let's talk about them baby mamas. And as always, take care of yourself and others. It's always just me when it comes up.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like it just makes it seem like I'm just crazy when I just bring up like Lindsay because Lindsay never is showing up until like she shows up. And so now it's just like some people just be like, "Who are you talking about?" But I don't see nobody but him.
Right. Like, where's he at though?
It's us. It's us. We are the Ish We Talk, man. You know me as Lily, the dude that is talking about names becoming extinct. But I'm always with the lady that pushes the bells and the whistles, the lady that sets everything up. Without her, you would not know me on the interweb. So we always got to give a round of applause for Lindsay.
Hello, how's it going? How's life?
And life be lifing.
You ain't never lied.
Man, for my people that are not on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find us on, Twitch. You can find us on Snapchat. You can find us on TikTok. Man, we're everywhere. Apple, Spotify. My dude, you might catch us on MSNBC something one day if we say the right things. We're just everywhere. So
I'm here for it.
You know what I'm saying? Check us out on all of those things. But I want to give a big shout out for everybody that does watch us on Twitch and does watch us on TikTok. We're actually on TikTok live right now. So super shout out to everybody that is watching us on these platforms.
Yes. Shout out to y'all. Yes. So, you ready to get into these topics?
Let's get into these topics.
All right. So, first topic is Mr. Druski. So, Mr. Druski did a skit, and he's known for his skits and what have you. But this particular skit had people up in arms. Not everyone, but a nice amount of people were up in arms behind this particular skit. What was the theme of the skit? Mega churches, and in particular pastors of mega churches, and the ridiculous things that they do, the ridiculous things that come out of their mouths and what have you. So, not gonna lie, I don't find Druski funny. I don't find him funny at all until I saw this skit. This skit to me was funny. This skit was funny. I ain't even gonna hold you. Let's see. Tell he is watching. She says, "Hey, Ish Talkers, guess who? Hey,
what's up, Toy?"
But yeah, I did find this skit funny. He mocked a few pastors of mega churches. He mocked the one pastor who flew across the congregation. He mocked the one pastor who had on a Christian Dior blazer. And that, I believe, was the same pastor who put the spit on the man's face.
Mm-hmm.
And he mocked the way that they request funds. He mocked how they really don't give a damn, and how they be in the back like bathing in the money that they just finessed out of their congregation. He also mocked Marvin Sapp when he told him to lock everybody the in the sanctuary. He mocked. I mean, he mocked them in general because at the very end, when the man asked for prayer for his wife while he was in what was that, a Rolls Royce driving off from the congregation, from the church, and he asked him, did he tithe, and he told him no, and he said, back the fuck up off my car, nigga. Like, so yeah. Like I said, I did find this skit funny, and I don't know if it's because I grew up in the church and I see how some things, when you're a kid growing up in church, you see how certain things don't add up. Like 2 plus 2 doesn't always equal 4 in the church, but God forbid you question. So, yeah, so you just learn to like not question. Just, go with emotions because it's easier than getting popped upside your head for questioning God. So yeah. Not that happened to me, but I digress. Yeah, so what are your thoughts about Druski's church skit?
My thoughts is this: hit dogs holler. It's always funny to a person that would never do these type of things and can't believe that these things are happening. It's never funny to the person that is actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So for people who are in the church or pastors who are criticizing Druski for your making your spirit laugh about some fuckery, I would say stop doing fuckery.
Simple, right?
And for the individuals who are getting, because I've seen this and I really don't understand this, and it's because I don't know. I just said this to Jasmine earlier today. Like, I have ADHD tendencies, but I don't think I have ADHD. But for the people who are saying that they are so tired of black people, it's criticizing black people when it comes to religion. Do y'all not know that it is a whole series out here called The Mighty Gemstones, where they talk about the fuckery of these white motherfuckers too?
Yes.
And it is hilarious. And you know who's not talking about it?
White people.
The preachers that are actually doing the fucking job that they supposed to do, and the preachers that are actually doing the fuck shit that they said on TV.
Right.
Like, sometimes your best play is to not make a play at all, because then you make people like Druski seem like he's pointing out hypocrisy when we all knew what hypocrisy was in the beginning, when we knew about the church system.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me, that shit was hella funny. Yeah. I'm again, Lindsay says sometimes she don't find Druski funny. I find Druski funny a lot. I'm not saying he's hilarious, but sometimes he does shit that makes me crack the fuck up. This is one of the times where I was just like, this is fucking spot on.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, because it was dead ass spot on in more ways than people recognize. You know, I didn't know about the blazer. Then when I saw the blazer, I was like, wow. You know, I knew about the flying across the congregation. I saw that when that went viral. Um, I of course I knew about like locking the doors to get the ties.
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about that on here. So yeah, so there were certain things I did know. And then there were certain things I didn't know. But I know how it can be presented at times to look like pastors don't give a damn. And I know that it can be presented as though pastors make a whole lot of money and the congregation looks like they scratching and surviving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However, the pastor is getting paid from the church, and that's their only source of income. Like, uh, the Breakfast Club, you know, had a whole call in about this skit, and a preacher called, and he brought up a valid point, which I have thought of a while back when people started questioning these pastors and whatnot and what they have and what have you. Especially because it was like a big deal with John Gray. And the pastor basically was like, it's one thing when a pastor has multiple sources of income. Like if they have a full-time job, or if they have a book deal, or they have or a national speaker and they get paid for speaking engagements, stuff like that. Like if you can tell that they have other sources of income, and you see them driving a fancy car or living in a fancy house, you know what I'm saying, or having fancy clothes or whatever. It's another thing if their only source of income is the church, and they're doing all of this in front of this church, and this church congregation, a majority of them are lower class or lower up or lower middle class or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a big difference. And excuse me. And I agree. I agree. Um and I think where Druski skit was coming from the place of um those type of pastors that their only source of income is the church. You know what I'm saying? Because he was talking about mega churches mainly, but you know, you can insert any church where it just looks like the pastor is just money hungry. Like you doing 2 or 3 tithes and offerings, and you're not like what they're saying it's for is not really what it's for. You know what I mean? Like the shit is falling off of the damn church, but what you pull up in is brand new custom. Like the majority of your congregation has to ride the church van to church every day. You
So
know, like it's wild.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this
Okay.
because you know it's just the way I am. When you have a church in disarray and you have a pastor pulling up in a brand new 2026, jumping out in the finest linens, and he has a congregation of 1,500 or more, is it the pastor's fault or is it the people? I'm asking a question.
I'm thinking,
Okay.
is it the pastor's fault that that's what he pulls up in when the church is in disarray?
Is it the pastor's fault that he's living like this, or is it or is it the product of the people?
Um, No, I wouldn't say that it's the people's fault because the people are paying him.
Exactly. But this is what I'm saying. So
So he should be able to get whatever he wants because he's doing his job, is what you're saying.
yeah, the hypocrisy of people that complain about this, like, because I've seen it from both ends. I've seen people complain and say Druski is wrong, but at the same time they still go to mega churches to do the same thing. And then
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people say Drewski's wrong, and um, they go to a hole in the wall and do the same thing. That the pastor still drives off in a Cadillac, knowing that they had the tithe offering for the church door for 37 years. It's like, when are we gonna stop saying that we are putting somebody in front of us to lead us to religion? That's the whole point of Jesus dying, is we didn't need pastors like this. And it's funny because people that say that they read their Bible actually don't read their Bible, because me growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, Jesus was kicking over tables for people that was acting like this. You
Yep.
live off of riches and royalty of the and expect people to buy their way to heaven. But fast forward, we still have things like this going on. So is it like, I'm not saying the pastor is wrong. Is it the pastor's fault, or is it for people still leading a blind way of trying to find faith?
Well, I feel like I feel a couple things. Like the pastor is held at a higher regard because they are a leader of a flock.
True.
So you have to look at them at a higher regard
True.
because of that. I also feel like a pastor should be looked at in the same vein as a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like if a teacher were to come to school every day and they go to school in one of the most destitute school districts in the town, and they come to school every day in their Mercedes, and they wear the flyest of fashions, has the best purses, keeps their hair and their nails done. Like, yes, they're doing it off of whatever money they're getting, and they should be able to do whatever they want. But in the same breath, you're doing that in front of people who could barely afford the reduced lunch that they're giving. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I get what you're saying, but I'll give
it's
you
not a
that,
good look.
and I'll raise you this. For its legal purposes,
Mm-hmm.
legally, the parents have to take their children to that school district. I don't have to bring my family to this church and offer tithes to this person at all, but I choose to because I don't want to do the work on my own. If
But
that makes sense.
it's not the same parallel because you're
It,
not
it
gonna
is if
tell
we
a
put it in
kid.
that perspective.
You're not gonna tell a kid to learn on their own.
You're not, but but if you have a problem with the school district or the school system, you know what you can do legally?
You can go to
Homeschool.
another school, and you can do homeschool. You
Or
can
you
go to another school.
exactly.
Yeah,
So why are we
I hear.
steadily going to a place where if everybody has a problem with these pastors and these preachers and these bishops, the just talking ain't gonna stop them. The way we end it is if we stop going to these churches.
Yeah.
That when people are never going to stop going to these churches because a lot of people don't want to spiritually find their own way, and so they're always going to get led the wrong way when you have that type of mentality. I ain't saying all. It's a bunch of people that I know that are super religious and super spiritual. So I'm not putting that out there, but I'm saying you have a lot of people that are putting fuel to these type of pastors fire. I'm not saying all pastors are this way, but if you have a congregation full of people that want to do what they want to, fornicate, sleep outside of their marriage, do all of these things, and be able to go to Sunday service and think they're saved by somebody in a Christian Dior suit, that you are not helping the cause. You are not helping religiously. You are not helping spiritually. So you cannot talk about what that pastor is doing.
So what do you mean by they're not helping? Who is not helping?
So if you have individuals that are going to say or defend certain pastors, or going to say certain pastors are wrong, at the same time they're spiritually and biblically not walking the way they're supposed to, and so they're going to continue to put fuel in this pastor's backpack. Case in point, you'll have somebody that'll swear to you that you need to go to Bible study on Wednesday. You need to go to church on Sunday. You need to go to ministry on Monday. And Tuesday and Thursday, they are going over somebody else's house to sleep with somebody else's wife.
So what you're saying in a nutshell is, if if you are sinning and you're under a pastor that's sinning, you can't talk about the pastor?
Exactly. You can't talk about the pastor if you're doing this. If you are in that same level, like this, that's my thing.
But we're not.
It's too much hypocrisy in church.
But we're not the same. We're not on the same level. I just said I feel like the pastors are at a higher regard because they are a leader of a flock. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they wouldn't be on the same level. You can call the person that's leading the brigade against a pastor. You can call them all kinds of hypocrites, that all you want, but they're not a leader of a flock.
They're not on the same level because of the fact that they're a pastor. But as far as spirituality is concerned, everybody's on the same level when it comes to sin.
Okay.
So you can't sin and talk about another sinner.
Why not?
Because no sin outweighs the other.
I didn't say it did.
So you can't do that if you're in this spiritual plane. Like, again, like, I'm not talking about outside, because a lot of people are gonna be like, well, yeah, we could talk about people every day. That's outside. When we getting on a spiritual level, when we talking about what's going on as far as religion wise, you can't say you're religious and you sin as much as the pastor do, because y'all on the same equal playing field.
I don't see why I can't talk about the pastor. Just because our sins in the eyes of the Lord are equal.
So why
that doesn't mean I can't talk about the pastor.
So why are we talking about the pastor? Why are we talking about the pastor, but still being in his flock?
Now that's where the problem lies. Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
That's where the problem lies. But that don't mean I can't talk about him.
Yes, it does. It means that 100%.
Why does it mean that? Why does it mean that?
Because you can't do that.
Why not?
Because it's hypocritical.
So
we just want to be hypocrites out here. Because if I got a problem with the way a pastor is, I'm not. And when I say this, I'm not telling anybody to do this. I'm disclaimer, because I don't want nobody to be like, Lily out here saying you supposed to wah. No, I'm just saying, in my opinion, if you have a problem with the pastor, then why be under his be a part of his flock? Because if you think that what he's doing is leading you wrong, then you know that you are just on a path to not go where you want to go.
I'm not mad at you for thinking that. I'm not mad at you for thinking that. But it's more to it as to why one will stay at a church and they don't agree with the pastor. For one, you're not going to agree with everything that a pastor does or says. That's impossible. That would never happen.
It's one thing to not agree with everything that the pastor says. It's one thing to know that the pastor is completely wrong.
No. I agree. But I'm trying to explain to you because what you're saying, the scenario you're saying, I lived it. So I'm trying to explain.
Okay, let me be
So
quiet.
yeah. So that's one thing. You know, like you'll never agree 100%. Secondly, the pastor, unless he built the church and constructed the church to run a certain way, is a an employee of the church. There's other people that hire and fire and all that kind of stuff. Yes, he's the head, and like, you know, in front of the world, he's the head, but he's an employee at the end of the day. So, and then there's rules and regulations and all that kind of stuff to get a pastor out. Um, Third, this might be a church that you have started with some people. This may be a church that you grew up in. There may be decades going on, or there may be a situation where it's like, okay, we got to figure out how to get him off the pulpit. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the case may be, um, you know, and then your love for the church as a whole may supersede the pastor. You know, like I said, the pastor's an employee. You may feel like he's only going to be there for a moment in time, and then you move on to another pastor, just like you moved on to this pastor. You know what I'm saying? So um there's a handful of reasons why people stay in a church where they're not being spiritually fed. um or they just like, you know, the pastor's on bullshit, but I love my church so much, we gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I lived it. So I watched a church go from having no seats in a huge ass sanctuary to not even having service in the sanctuary no more because it costs too much to keep the heat on or the air on. So they moved to a different part of the church that's smaller significantly. Like, I've watched it. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you've been in the church for generations. You know what I'm saying? But it gets to the point where you're just like, you know, I can't do this no more. But some people ain't at that point yet. You know, some people ain't at that. I was at that point almost 20 years ago. I stopped going to church regularly almost 20 years ago. So, but there's still some people at the church, and they will criticize the church left and right. They would be the one talking the most shit about the pastor, about how he can't do this, how he's not doing that, and all that kind of stuff. Like, you're gonna get all of that, but you're still gonna see those people there every week, and they might be fulfilled in other ways, and not from the pulpit. It just
So,
happens.
so let me ask you a real question.
Hmm.
In that situation that was going on with your church, was that because he was using the tithes to live his life, or the tithes wasn't enough for things to happen? Because, and the reason why I say that is because
Uh-huh.
um, I only know one. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, but I only knew one pastor um, that not only preached but had a secular job. So
Hmm.
he never spent any of the church's money. The church's money was legit the church's money.
Hmm.
So was it because he was living his life um, on tithes, or was it that it just wasn't enough? Because that's a big difference too. Because it's
It is.
always a hypocrisy into what a lot of people think pastors are doing until you actually know this pastor. A lot of pastors, because I'm not going to shit on every pastor. A lot of pastors actually do believe that they're doing God's work. They're just not getting enough revenue for it.
Hmm. Well, the church that I grew up in was one of the biggest churches in the city, and it's far from that, far from that now. You know, the preacher that they have there now, he came when I was in middle school, I think. and he was drawing a very, very, very good salary. I don't know what he does now because, like I said, I haven't been to church regularly in almost 20 years. Technically, I'm still a member because I never moved my membership, but I do remember when he became head pastor, he drew a very nice amount, like a nice amount in today's age. So just imagine in the 90s, you know. So yeah, like it never was necessarily a thing of him like taking money that wasn't for him. Now he would allocate money and put shit in the church's name for the church, but without approval. So like we had got a projector and he didn't ask. And it was a lot of money to get a projector back then. It's a lot of money now, but it was help
right now. Like
yeah.
I just ordered 2 of them. I ain't even gonna tell y'all how much it costs. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. My job was like, yeah, y'all, you better send me the receipts. I'm like, yeah, because they cost a lot.
Yeah. So just imagine getting one in the early 2000s that gets lowered from the ceiling. Like they cut out the ceiling so that they can lower this in front of the pool, in front of the baptismal pool.
Yeah.
So just imagine how huge this thing was. And then you had to have it installed, and you had it installed in this old church. You know what I'm saying? It's a big church, but it's an old church nonetheless. It's an old building. So it's like, that was a whole lot of fucking money. And he financed it for the church. So the church had to pay this note on something we didn't even ask for. Like nobody ever at the finance meetings never stood up and was like, you know what we need? We need a projector. Like nobody ever said that. You know what I'm saying? So that was basically what he was doing shit like that when it was just like, okay, but we got other issues that we kind of need to handle. And on top of that, because people don't like you or they don't like the way you preach, people leave. You know what I'm saying? So so yeah, so you would lose money that way and whatnot. And I do remember hearing like at one point in time he had gotten a job. You know, he got a job as a postman and what have you. But no, his main job was the church. And not to take anything away from him because he should have drew a nice amount of money because he, you know, went to Princeton. Like he had a master's in theology. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he was highly educated, but he just wasn't, he's not. He's still here. He's still over the church. He's just not that good of a preacher. And he's not that good of a leader. You know, because if you look at the church's heyday, like that when Martin Luther King was coming to town, they went to my church. You know what I'm saying? Like that, my church was a big staple. It's in the Black archives. Like my church was a big staple in the community. So to go from that to a mere fraction of what they had on a weekly basis is crazy. Like my church used to hold Martin Luther King Day coming up. My church used to hold every year the Martin Luther King Day celebration. You know what I'm saying? Like, and literally every year I would have to hear my mama's mouth about how the church looked like that every week. And it's nothing of the sort now. And it's sad. It's sad to see. But yeah, that's when I think the main issue outside of him not being a good preacher is him not looking at the youth as being an asset, because and he was catering more to the old folks. Well, the old folks is going to be there regardless. You know what I'm saying? You need to kind of have like a youth ministry and kind of cater to the youth because they're the ones that's going to grow the church.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Not the older folks. The older folks is kind of set in their ways. They're not gonna switch churches, and if they're not going to churches because they're sick, like, you know what I'm saying? So like they in the bag, you know. But yeah, he didn't take expanding the youth ministry as a priority, and this is where we're at now. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. You know, I drive past it every day when I go to work, and it just sucks. But it is what it is.
So it's one of those things where um being and taking it a full circle with Druski, for me, it was one of those things where Druski just called out hypocrisy of what we see with a lot of these pastors that are capitalizing on the flock instead of actually trying to lead the flock.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he did, and it was extremely funny. Not only was it extremely funny, it was real. I don't think people understand how because I'm one of those people that I love comedy, but I know comedy comes from thought.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe that like Druski has thoughtless humor. I don't
I
believe.
don't think that.
I don't. I'm not one of those people. I do believe that that joke was to make people understand the hypocrisies of what he's seen with a lot of people. Is that all churches? No. I do believe that we have some amazing pastors in this world, like hands down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna shoot down anybody who is religious. I'm never gonna shoot down anybody who chooses to lead people religiously. I'm never gonna shoot you down if you are doing what you're supposed to do, and if you are righteous with what you're doing. It is when you do this and your purpose is not righteous, nor is it not for the people. That is when, like Druski, you show the hypocrisy. And so I think that's all Druski was doing. I don't think Druski was doing that to lead people away from the church, like some pastors are saying. But the same pastors that are saying that is because these are the same pastors that do that type of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, for me, if you are a spiritually aligned and religious person, you can find the humor with what he did. And you can still go to church the next day and have no problem because your pastor ain't on that bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what mainly the preachers that have something negative to say. But it just seems like if you do anything that is shining a realistic but unsavory light on the church, more specifically the black church community is going to have a problem. Because I don't know if you ever watched this show. It was an excellent show. It was on their own network a few years ago. It was called Greenleaf. When Greenleaf first premiered, it premiered to a lot of backlash because it was basically a mega church that had Keith David as the pastor and Lynn Whitfield as his wife. So you can imagine the type of shenanigans that were going on that.
That's what I was about to say. I
Show.
didn't see the show, but like once you said Lynn Whitfield, I'm like, oh yeah, this is she gonna be a bad bitch until she 163 years old. Like I can imagine what was going on.
Excuse me. Basically, so yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot that happened in that first episode. One of them was mocking Creflo Dollar because of him having a jet. And so, you know, they had a lot of backlash because they was dealing with some real shit in that first episode. Some real shit, you know? And it just seems like whenever you deal with some real shit that's not like I said, shining a good light on the black church, the black community has a problem. Or some people in the black community have a problem, you know? But it's basically being a mirror. You know?
Yeah, why should we get shunned for calling out what is actually going on? Like that's the thing that I think for me it bothers me as far as when it comes to religion, because uh, you have a lot of individuals that are shoot down and call it hypocrisy, but at the same time they're not going to talk about the hypocrisy that they're doing in the church.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Like
not.
because I can anybody like that is a part of any type of religious background can talk about um, some BS that they seen or some wrongdoings that they seen, but that doesn't mean that they're straying away from that religion. They're just calling out the nonsense,
Yeah.
and you should be able to do that.
Yeah. You should be. You should be, but people take offense to it, but I just feel like he's just holding a mirror. It's kind of like how, some people have the mentality of what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of leaning on towards or kind of leaning towards that same ideology. You know what I mean? But it's like things won't get rectified unless we shine a light on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he shined a light on it in a humorous way. But I feel like because of it being so close to reality, I think that's what made it funny for me. Like, I like his other skits, yes. They are pretty realistic. I just don't find them funny. But this one was funny to me.
I mean, because it was real.
They're
And
all,
like
I feel like they're all like grounded in truth.
all of them are grounded in like that's what I be saying. Like when Druski does these things, he doesn't do it with no thought.
Yeah.
He really has thought behind it
Yeah.
because he's raising and what a lot of people don't even pay attention to is he's raising awareness to for some people that don't understand or don't know what it's like to be in those type of atmospheres.
Mm-hmm.
He is raising awareness on top of making it funny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I truly thought it was funny. Like for me, I didn't grow up in the church. Um, but me not growing up in the church, I did grow up in a religious type of manner. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, so I have seen hypocrisies in religion, and
Mm-hmm.
so when I see things like this, yes, I 100% laugh. Um, I 100% go for it because I've seen these same things. I've not seen. Now I will say I've never seen anybody who is a Jehovah's Witness walk up in a Gucci suit and fly across the stage. No, I've never seen that. But
Yeah.
I have seen hypocrisy. I've seen, and just being quite honest, I've seen somebody that house got kicked in because they were selling dope, but was a part of a certain sector of what Jehovah's Witnesses is. House got kicked in, was about to go to jail. They didn't find anything, couldn't charge him for nothing. And the next day he had an assembly of more than 15,000 people and he talked about it. Like I've seen that. I've seen these things. So I
Yeah.
know what the hypocrisy is. Yes. So like to call it out, yeah, call it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call it
I
out.
I've been witness to a lot of hypocrisy in the church. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a pastor and not only are you a pastor, like you have studied relentlessly. You have degrees in the shit. You know what I'm saying? So without a shadow of a doubt that this goes against your belief and you do it anyway. That's wild. That's wild. And then, if for nothing else, it's the optics. The optics look crazy. Like that one pastor that's in jail right now or in prison right now, out in New York, the one that got robbed.
Yep.
That the reason why that made, like, outside of him getting robbed during a service, like that shit was crazy. But that wasn't a moment in time. He became a thing because light got shined on him in the shit that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be different if he was, doing stuff, you know, that was on the up and up, but that's not what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a flashy individual, and it doesn't make any sense that you start a church and the church is on top of a storefront, and yet you live in the suburbs of New Jersey. You got these big ass houses, and you driving these over $100,000 cars,
Right.
and your church again is on top of a storefront. Like, that doesn't make any sense, because where are you getting this money from? Your front is being a pastor, but you're obviously doing something else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that be the stuff that be crazy. That'd be the stuff that be crazy. And there's countless stories of that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that pastors shouldn't do what they want as far as their money is concerned, but when you become a pastor, it's like it's no, like, I'm off the clock. You know what I mean? Like, you're always on the clock. Like, they're always looking at you, whether you're in the pulpit or you're at the chicken shack on Wednesday night. Like, you're always being looked at. You're always being held to a higher regard. You're always going to be judged for whatever move you make.
So
And you sign up for that.
I truly think, and my belief, and I could be wrong, and if because a lot of pastors are probably going to tell me I'm wrong for this, but I truly believe that pastors should not live in the lap of luxury when it comes to certain things. Now, I am not opposed to a pastor getting a salary from a church. I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah, me either.
What I'm opposed to is if this church is bringing in on a yearly basis, maybe this church is bringing in $500 to $1 million. The pastor should not be getting half of that. And what some pastors are getting half of that, or
Some pastors are.
a third of that, and then they're barely putting it back into the church. That's where I have a problem. But then that's just me.
Right. I feel like a pastor should have some type of results. Like, why should we give you the salary that you're requesting? I feel like a pastor should have some type of ideas that he wants to set forth in the church to grow the church. I feel like the pastor should have some type of idea on how to improve on what we already have, or if we need to move. Like, I felt like as a leader of a flock, we need to be led to righteousness. Like, things need to be on the up and up. You need to be on the up and up, because you're not gonna tell me to pay you $250,000 and you don't have a plan on how to increase revenue.
Yeah, exactly. Or bring more people into it.
Well, bringing more people into it is increasing revenue.
So you're 100% right. My thing is, because this money is, Like, this ain't 250 after taxes. This is legit 250.
Yeah.
Like, that's what a lot of people don't understand about. That's why a lot of dope dealers become pastors, because they realize I can do the same thing I did on the streets and still collect all the money.
Yeah.
You know, and so this is why I be like, man, it's come to a point where it's been saturated with people that just look at the hustle and don't look at it as you are really trying to walk people through the line of thinking that they're going to go to heaven, like following your path.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the issue that I've always had with religion, period. Is some people that y'all have in leadership don't really understand what it is to be a leader in this field. Like, I don't care where you came from. I don't care what type of educational background or religious educational background you have. A lot of these leaders are more selfish than they are righteous.
I agree.
And that's the problem that we're having. And that's why that skit from Druski hit harder, because Druski has, for whatever you think he is, he pissed a lot of people off that's doing some fuck shit.
Yeah. 100%. And then this is the crazy part about it, because people are trying to equate that with mocking God, and that's not it. Because I feel like pastors that pull this fuck shit mock God.
Exactly. I don't think Druski was mocking God at all.
I don't think
none of that was mocking God.
I don't think this had anything to do with God, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, this didn't have nothing to do with God. This had something to do with the American Black church. And more specifically, the American Black mega churches. You know what I'm saying? Because they, at the end of the day, the pastors sometimes be on fuck shit. And that ain't necessarily the congregation's fault to a certain degree. Because if you know your pastor's on fuck shit or whatever, and you're not doing nothing about it, and you continue to be a part of his flock, then you got to hold the weight of that.
So that's my whole point in a nutshell. That's why I started that. Like, do you really want to blame the pastor when you know you're doing the same fuck shit? Like, you can't say.
You were saying like, oh, blame the pastor for his fuck shit, but you over here fornicating.
Exactly.
The pastor over here embezzling. Like, no, they ain't the same.
Yeah, no sin is worse than the other, my nigga.
No sin is worse than the other, but it's not the same.
I understand
just
it's not
because
the same, but
it's a lateral move. Like, you're talking to lateral right now.
No sin is worse than the other, and I know I've said this in the podcast before. See, this is the problem with a lot of pastors, is you have a lot of people that are blind to what you're doing, and they believe that you are leading them to a place where they are sanctified. But if you are a flawed pastor, you're not leading them to where you think they're gonna where they think they're gonna go. 100%. Like, it has never been.
It's so many levels to that, because a pastor can lead you in the right direction and still be on fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many levels to this.
So this is what I believe.
You can know your pastor's on fuck shit and know what your pastor is preaching is right, and still let him be on fuck shit.
And so this is what I believe, because I like to read like different Bibles, and the Old Testament and in the Quran, all that. If you know you're led by a false prophet, then you yourself are not going to enter the chambers of heaven.
Well, I didn't go there.
But this is where I'm going, because I've said this before. Like, this is what happens with a lot, because we had a lot of pastors that end up doing some crazy stuff, or end up criticizing and doing the same thing. What you're doing is you're leading the flock into a wrong path.
Mm-hmm.
they think because they behind you, they're going to be walking in heaven. You're not walking in heaven, my nigga.
No.
You're walking
And you
into
know
the
that.
pits,
Right.
and
And
they
that's
don't
what I'm
even know
saying.
that you're walking into the pits.
Right. They know that shit. They like those pastors know what they're doing is some fuck shit. And they're still doing it. They don't give a damn. Like, and that's the crazy part. And then, and like I said, some people willfully follow him knowing he's on fuck shit. And then there's some that follow him that don't have a clue that he's on fuck shit. But at the end of the day, that pastor knows they're on fuck shit.
That's why, and I will end it for me. I'm gonna end it just like this. This is why the devil does not mind you opening up churches, because the devil knows one thing and one thing only. Certain people are going to go where they need to go, and he don't have no problem with that. You got to realize at the end of the day, Satan doesn't mind you going to heaven, because that's his father's house and that's where he came from. He don't mind you going there, but at the same time, he knows it's a lot of people that he's going to corrupt to go to his house. That's why he don't mind you opening up churches, because it's always going to be either. It's going to be either way. He's going to learn how to tempt certain people to bring a whole flock back to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he don't mind that. He will encourage you to do that. He will speak to you as a false prophet in order for you to continue to do the fuck shit you've been doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tohi says that Druski skit was funny, and I knew that people would have something to say. She also says, of course, it doesn't represent every church. However, it was pulled from it wasn't. She meant it wasn't pulled from thin air. No, no, it most definitely was not pulled from thin air. It was pulled from documented proof. So yeah, we talked a lot about this. So yeah, uh definitely let us know in the comments what your thoughts and opinions are on this, because a lot of people had something to say. But yeah, that was our thoughts here and there. So yeah, that was Druski's church skit. Another topic is Aaron Hall. Now, we don't talk about Aaron Hall enough.
I
But
miss you.
yeah, we definitely are missing him right now.
That's why I said that.
Right. Yeah, so there has apparently been a lawsuit that involves Diddy and Aaron Hall, and they have been trying to serve Aaron Hall for about the past year, and he is nowhere to be found. So this lawsuit is dealing with a young lady who was 16 at the time, I want to say, and she is claiming that Aaron Hall and Diddy sexually assaulted her. And so with that, she's suing because they opened up the statute of limitations or whatever, because this supposedly happened 36 years ago. But
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, she's trying to sue him. She's trying to get him served. And he's been dodging. He's been MIA for the past year. And so her lawyer is requesting for him to be publicly served. And that's basically putting it in a newspaper. Yeah. So this is what's going on with Aaron Hall. And yeah, we miss him. What are your thoughts about this, Lily? What are your thoughts about Mr. Hall dodging the process server
Who?
for a year?
My thing is, I'm gonna sound like a dick when I say this. I wouldn't want to be a part of the Diddy downhill slide of an avalanche either. I'm going to dodge the fuck out of all of that shit. I'm not missing. I'm just in a place where they can extradite me. Because I don't want to be a part of that. Now, with that being said, that's what I would do. And I'm just legally a nigga from the city. Aaron Hall, if you've seen any interview, he's already told you he's been on that fuck shit. He been on that fuck shit. He been that big dick nigga that moves around and does what the fuck he wants to do and fuck when he wants to. And he has niggas come through and fuck these bitches too. He's been on that shit. He fucked up being around other niggas that wasn't paying attention or getting IDs to a lot of these young ladies. And so he knows that now. Like, just to be fair, all of these men in the industry, and I'm not shooting anybody down, but if y'all wasn't checking IDs and y'all wasn't doing shit, a lot of y'all were fucking women that were under 18 years old. And it's one of those things where we don't talk about it, but it's the honest to God truth. That's what y'all were doing. And now that they're calling it out, I'm not saying that you wanted to be a pedophile or somebody who sexually assaulted a minor. I'm not saying that, because a lot of especially back then, a lot of them were acting more grown than they were supposed to. So I'm not saying that that was your intention, but the fact that they know they can capitalize on it, a lot of you niggas are screwed.
Yeah,
it just is what it is. And I was about to say I hate to say that, but no, I don't hate to say that. It's the honest to God truth. It just is what it is, because everybody wasn't doing what you were doing. But when you were doing it, when you were that, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and you know we had heartthrobs. Those heartthrobs was fucking anything moving.
Yeah.
And now, fast forward 2026, we realized that some of these women that was getting knocked off by these celebrities were fucking children.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of, and I ain't gonna speak like that, but it's a lot of individuals that I know, or young ladies that I know, that were hanging around certain celebrities that were still in high school with me. I don't think they were just hanging around. I know they was sucking dick. Like, it just is what it is. Why would you be around them? Like, let's just keep it a bean, and let's just be 100. Do you think at one point where, and I'm not saying everybody, because it's a lot of individuals. One thing I will respect, and I will say this out loud because I know this. I've been around certain people. It is certain people to be like, where your ID at? Oh, I forgot it. Okay, well, forget your ass back over in that bus. I've seen that. I've seen that 100% happen.
Yeah.
But some individuals, I've seen that they don't give a fuck.
Excuse me. Yeah, some individuals be well aware, and they actually prefer it.
I didn't want to say it, but I was going to say that, because, I mean, I will say this. I ain't saying it's any Kansas City rapper that I know, but I just will quote the immortal words of Snoop Dogg when he was 31 years old. He said, hanging at the high school, getting on them young bitches. He said that, and nobody questioned it.
There's been a lot of things that these entertainers have said in their lyrics, and didn't nobody question it. BBD, do me baby, backstage, underage.
Underage.
Yeah.
Crazy. That was that coke talking. That was that cocaine talking.
That's it. Hey, that's not a good defense.
That's not
like
that's not an excuse. I'm just saying, if you got a nigga charged up off cocaine for the past 4 days, he's not gonna give a fuck if you 48 or 14.
I mean,
I'm just gonna be honest. Just because you have celebrities have this status of they feel like they're untouchable and they feel like this is normal.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's not. It's not at all. It's weirdo behavior. Ashton Sanders is watching and says LOL at Coke Talk.
yeah. I mean, yeah, Ashton. I ain't gonna say what I wanted to say, but like, you know, we know, we know, brother.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is unfortunately that was a, you know, that was and is a thing.
Yeah, and it's so crazy, and it's like, oh, so again, I love to play devil's advocate. For Aaron Hall, I would say wherever you at, be somewhere where you cannot be extradited for anything, because what you were doing, and I hate to like help the villain, but I'm gonna at this point I'm gonna say this: you thought what you were doing was the normal and was okay. And at one point, and I hate, and no, I don't hate to say it. I'm gonna say it 100. It was the norm, and it was okay, and white people were doing it too, and no one batted an eye. And so, if you are somewhere where they can't extradite you, stay there. Because what you didn't do, as much as you was wrong, if you were doing these type of things, as much as they're going to say that you're wrong, you were in a atmosphere where it was norm. You didn't rape anybody. Grape. You didn't grape anybody, or you didn't sexual, and you didn't SA anybody as much as they trying to say it now. I think all of it was actually warranted, but now that as far as the time that we live in now, they're capitalizing off of it because they were underage, which is 100% fine because they can do that. But at the same time, people need to be aware of sometimes you don't know that they're underage and you're just doing whatever you want to do if you're coked out, drunk, or whatever. And I'm not saying that to do that, I'm not giving anybody a pass at that. I'm just saying for at that time as a celebrity, you probably didn't know that this was a 16-year-old girl.
I can see that.
A bottle of champagne, smoking a joint, you didn't know she was 16.
Yeah. If they're backstage and it's like, or if they're at the hotel at 2:00 in the morning and yeah, she's smoking, she's drinking, she looks like an adult. People back then was not checking IDs. Hell, do people like do that on a regular nowadays?
Right. Like nowadays it's more of like nowadays it's more easy for you to know that it's a kid. Like even speaking of us right now, like being a child of the 80s, you knew what we were. You knew we were teenagers, and so even when we were trying to act grown, people knew we was teenagers. Now, backslide that, rewind that back to children that were born in the 60s and 70s. These motherfuckers came out looking 35 years old. I don't know what was in the food, but listen, I knew a lady that looked 35 her whole motherfucking life, and then those real black genes kicked in, and she never stopped looking 35 to this day. She's a 67-year-old woman. You would never know she was 67. She still looks like she did when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But when you look at old pictures, she always looked that way.
Right.
So you can imagine some old nigga running up on her.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe I was different. Because like my height and my body gave adult, but my face didn't.
That's what I was about to say. Like, nah, like you can talk that shit. Like, nah, you were a 6 foot tall Gerber baby. What the fuck?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I was a little different. But I just feel like it was more acceptable, unfortunately, especially when it was an older man and a younger girl.
Yeah,
it was more acceptable.
That was the thing. Like,
yeah,
we all grew up in a society. Listen, I graduated in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna tell you. Well, I can because I'm 43, so I can tell y'all. Like, I graduated in an age where those girls were getting picked up by grown ass men. Mm-hmm. Like, all the girls that you was like, oh man, she bad, boy, she look grown. Wow. Yeah, she sure did, and she was getting picked up by a grown ass man too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I knew people that, you know, was fucking with adults. And, you know, that never was my thing. I was never attracted to nobody older than me back then, especially back then. Ew, gross. Like, that's how I felt. Like, so, yeah, my mama didn't have to worry about that with me because that was not my thing. But I did know people that was their thing, and they loved that shit. And it was lucrative shit. You know, what can I say? I wasn't doing it, but it was definitely a thing. You know,
it was. I mean, and case in point, and because I always want to state this because I don't never want to shoot down dudes. And on certain things like when I say you were wrong for dating young women, yeah, you were wrong for dating young women, but it was women doing the same thing, like hand to the Bible.
100%.
Yeah, hand to the Bible, and I'll put this on my son. I didn't date anybody that was in my age range when I was in high school. Every woman that I dated was super older than me. Every woman that I liked was super older than me.
When you say super, how super are we talking?
So when I say super, I mean they were grown, had houses, and had bills to pay. Like when I was a freshman, I dated a woman that was in her late 20s. By the time I was a senior, I dated a woman that was in her late 30s.
Those are pedophiles.
So, you know what I'm saying? This is the thing. Now, I'm not saying, nah, this is what you're supposed to do. Wop, and all that. Now, I'm just saying that like it goes both ways. It's like
it definitely 100%.
Because I had a conversation with Jasmine a couple of days ago. You know, I don't never lie. I don't. Not that I don't never lie, because I'll lie. But I told Jasmine, I was like, yeah, like no, I didn't have like actual intercourse until I was 17 years old. At the same time that I said that, or excuse me, at the same time that I say this, I was getting fellatio from grown women at 14, 15 years old.
That is not okay.
That's not okay. I keep saying that. That's not okay. But it was again, like it was almost the norm back then.
Right. Right.
Like,
And then, the way that society looks at that, up until like very, very, very recently, they looked at it like it was okay. You know what I'm saying? Like if if a younger boy was with an adult woman, they're looking at that like, dang, you pulled her. Dang, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like they're looking at it like it's a positive thing. And that's not a positive thing. He's being taken advantage of.
yeah, because they was blaming for years. I thought I had what they call machismo. I was like, oh, I just know how to talk to these bitches. No, I didn't know how to talk to nobody at fucking 14. I was still watching Power Rangers, my nigga. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? Like, real life, I didn't know how to. The whole thing was, I was being groomed.
Yeah.
Just to be quite honest. And it's not being on no extra, and I'm not shooting nobody down. But it was like, no, I was literally being groomed. And then like that weighed into how I approach things as grown. Because I felt like certain things was entitled to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how I was groomed on certain things.
Yeah. So, little off subject, but not really. What's the biggest age gap of somebody that you've ever dated?
The biggest age gap, 12 years.
12 years?
No. Lie. Take that lie completely back. I was 17. She was 20. It's 20 years. She was 30. No, 19, because she was 35, 36.
And you were 17.
I was 17.
Now, in Missouri, that is an adult, but still. She need her ass whooped for that.
Nah, we ain't gonna shoot that lady down like that.
No, that's not okay.
And when I say that 100%, I don't even know what this lady is doing right now. I grew up in a time where Instagram and Facebook and all that wasn't a thing. So I don't even know what she's doing nowadays. I would never even look her up.
I'm not saying that we should lead the charge. I'm not saying that. But in real life, like, that's not okay. It's not okay. Like, no, because in real life, like, if the tables were reversed and that was a 17-year-old girl dating a 36-year-old man, we will be cussing him up and down the street and then want to put hands and feet on him. And
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even, because I can't say that you're wrong.
Yeah. And
only thing I would say to that,
like, that's crazy, but then, high-fiving the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, they're both ridiculous.
I was about to say, and I'm so glad you said that, because I'm like, I think the reason why I don't get it, like, a lot of people think that I'm like pro women, like all these women, like, no, it ain't that. It's just, and it's not that I got taken advantage of or anything like that, but I'm like, y'all can't shoot down men for doing this shit when I know it was women doing this shit too.
Yeah, we saw that in Juice, and it's just now being talked about in the last couple of years. But Q was fucking with Cindy from En Vogue, and remember, Cindy was married. She was separated from her husband though, and she was a nurse. Why is a nurse fucking with a high schooler?
So, and I'm glad you said that, because movies reflect life.
Yeah.
When I seen that in Juice, I think that was one of my catalysts for me wanting to date older women. Because these women knew that I was superiorly young, but I act like I wanted to act like I was so. I'm not gonna say like I was so mature. I wanted to act like I was so mature, and I think it was cute to them.
Yeah,
it was cute. You know what I'm saying? That I was doing that, and then and no shape or form am I being on any extra at all. But it was one thing that it was cute, and it was another thing that Like, to be quite honest, around that time where it was like crack going on and everybody was like super like or some men were like drinking lean all the time, and it was like I grew up in an era where like some of these niggas that was in their 20s and 30s, dick wasn't working. I'm a kid, my dick works overtime. And I think that's what it was. I think I just fell into that pocket.
Yeah.
Not even being on no extra, I'm just being 100. Like,
not
I'm sure. Being like, I had the biggest dick in the world. No, I just fell into a pocket where some older women were knew they can fully take advantage, and they wasn't gonna get no backlash from this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why I saying this out loud. I used to be a kid, used to be like, nah, I only do roll closed pussy. And motherfuckers used to be like, what does that mean? Like, nah, she gotta have her tubes tied. Like, I was on that as a kid.
So when you say kid, what was the age that you was on?
I'm talking about 17 and up. 17 to like 25, roll close.
Rolled closed. Wow.
Roll closed pussy.
Wow. That's tough. That is tough right there, boy.
Like, I was always on it. Like, you got to think, because the person that you know, that I was with, she's not super older than me. She like at least 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Like that was what I was into.
Mm-hmm. But her road ain't closed though.
But she was smart with it. She knew to like her thing was she stayed on birth control. Like I went in with her to get the thing in her arm and all that. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that's what I was in. I think that's why she be quite fair. I think that's why she probably even fucked with me, because she found out I was fucking with. She was like, "Oh, this nigga be fucking with older bitches."
So it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, like it wouldn't. And I don't know. To be quite honest, I don't know. But I think it was. I think it was more or less of people like, nah, he ain't on that type of shit. Like, this nigga be fucking with bitches that's older than him. Like, this is what he do.
Yeah, maybe. And then like you also look at it like yeah, you fuck with older people. That means that there's something in you that may be a bit more mature.
Yeah, it's a level of maturity there.
Yeah,
that most people don't have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that for that to be a thing, it has to be some type of maturity there.
Right.
So, but being underage doing this shit is not okay.
Yeah, I was underage doing it. I popped that shit off at 14.
Never okay. It's never okay.
Yeah, I popped that shit off at 14, and I'm not. And when I say that, that's not me being on no extra, and that's not me saying that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I know, because a lot of times people be like, nah, this person took advantage of me. I will 100% say nobody took advantage of me. That's what I wanted to do. But
the thing is that you were taken advantage of, because when you're underage, you can't give consent.
You can't. That you right. You can't get consent on that level.
Right.
But it was not that they took it and I didn't want them to take it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. And I think that's where the difference between rape and statutory rape comes from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
But in the same breath, when you're underage, you can't give consent. So no matter if you wanted it or not, it shouldn't have happened.
100%.
Yeah. Because I want to eat ice cream all day long, but I can't.
And so, even you saying that,
there's things that you just can't do.
even you saying that, and other people said that too, and I always, because I admit to certain things, because I don't never want to be that person that lie about certain things. It was that's why I always say, like, I never actually had intercourse until I was 17. But I was getting, I got fellatio young, and I think that's what those women knew, that they couldn't, even though they crossed that line, they didn't cross that line. That makes sense.
I hear what you're saying, but it still don't make it okay.
It doesn't make it okay. I'm saying the steps.
It just, yeah, but I don't even think they were thinking of it in that way. Like, oh, I'm just gonna give him head because he's underage. I don't even think that was like their thought process. It could have been, they could have been a straight up predator, and that's just what it is. And the whole thing could have been strategic. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that that can't be the case. I'm just saying I don't think that's the case. Because I don't think they was thinking of it that hard. Because I mean, I'm sure even you as an adult have fucked with people that only gave you head.
Yeah.
That you didn't have sex, that you didn't have intercourse with.
That is true.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't think that that's what they were thinking. Like, oh, because he's underage, I'm just gonna give him head.
That is true.
Yeah.
Even thinking about this now, I just be like, now that we didn't put this in the air, I'll just be like, man, I'm just so afraid for my son, because like, I've had these things, and I was the dude that don't talk to nobody, and was getting this shit done to him.
Yeah,
I wasn't the dude that was out here acting like he was tough or trying to be a gangster. I was a nigga that was sitting at home watching video games.
Yeah, I feel like that level of fear is in every parent and every adult that takes on some type of parental role with a child. I feel like that fear is there. I just feel like there's only so much you can do, because it ain't like you can handcuff your kid to you 24/7.
Yeah.
So you just have to make sure that you're teaching them right and pray that they make the right decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you can't worry yourself to death on what decision your kid might make. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, especially if you was a wild one, you're definitely gonna be in fear of what your kid is gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't a wild one. And that's the thing. I was not a wild kid at all.
Well, I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just talking in general.
I'm about to say, because like,
yeah,
when I was pulling up, or women was dropping me off, motherfuckers would be like, what? like this nigga about to go in that motherfucker and watch VR Troopers. Like, we out here being grown, selling dope, smoking weed. Like, what makes this nigga so attractive? I'm like, I don't know.
Like, whose mama is that? You lying. Like, you are not taking down nobody mama.
You know, it was just one of those things. It was one of those things. It was
like, you
quite honest, it was one of those things where it was more convenient for me. I'm not saying for the for women or anything of that nature. For me, it was just more convenient, me having a bunch of sisters, and me always being around. Like, you know, I was just always around. And then, like, when I was like, especially when I was like between the ages of like 13 to like 19, it was like, now I'm walking around doing whatever. Like, I'm walking around shirt off, doing whatever, like in my drawers, like around, you know what I'm saying, certain people, like, dick swinging. Like, I don't, and it's not anything like I'm saying I'm trying to entice anybody, but like, in those scenarios, like, if you got a woman that was dealing with a man that dick couldn't get hard and all that old extra shit, and I'm walking around here like that, like nah, it was one of those things where it was just inviting. And again, I'm not down. When I say this, I'm not downplaying anything. Because I say this all the time, like it was 100% wrong. What I went through, I would never say this is what you're supposed to go through as a man. Because I always, this is how I know certain niggas be lying about certain things. And I've said this before in this podcast. Every nigga has the same story about how they dealt with an older woman. I'm never gonna have that same story. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, nah, this is actually what happens because I know what actually happens. I ain't gonna go through the whole rigmarole of, nah, she said, you know, when you do if you feel like you about to pee, that ain't just let me know. Like, I ain't never gonna go through that. I ain't never went through that. I actually went through what it is to like do the whole thing for real. Not
what does
saying
that even mean?
So most niggas have this whole conversation, and I want to move on past it because I don't want nobody to believe to think that I'm glorifying pedophilia or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um,
We're definitely anti.
Yeah. But most dudes have the same story. I was messing with this older chick, blah, 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 blah. You know, she was doing this, and I didn't know what I was doing because I was a kid. And she said, if you feel like you about to pee, let me know because that ain't pee. And yeah, I went and I busted a nut. Wah. And she was like, and they'll say some weird ass age. Like, she was like 47. Like, like no, it don't go. That doesn't happen. What
it
happens
does.
in real
it
time.
does happen.
Huh?
It does happen.
It does happen. But I'm saying when everybody has that same story, that's a lie.
Okay.
That's a lie. When everybody had the same scenario. Either y'all all fucking Jeffrey Dahmer or all of you niggas are lying.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
I went there because everybody thinks it's a trophy.
Or a rite of passage.
To deal with an older woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, until you become older.
Right.
I never had that story. I don't have that. Mm-hmm. I have that. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm doing my own thing, and I'm curious because I'm a kid and I'm young, and it starts with they flash you, and you like, oh shit, like titties, and like you don't really trip off of it, and then you like it goes into an enticing thing, and like you want to hang out with them because you're a kid. But this is a woman, like I can only go with my first experience. Because she was in our category. She was young. She was in her 20s. But it was one of those things where it was, if she was inviting, and I'm still a kid, so like I want to be around her because she's a beautiful woman, for me, and she's enticing. And she allows me to be a kid, but while being a kid, she's getting close and she's starting to do certain things. She's starting to be around me with just a robe on, and she's starting to be around me and she's rubbing on my leg, and it was a process. That's why I always say, like, I understand I was getting groomed, and like so my sexual behavior now is because I was dealing with somebody who was dealing with her sexual behavior, and she was grooming herself on top of grooming me.
Yeah.
Like, so you know what I'm saying? And when I say that, people like, oh no, it don't work. Like, yeah, it totally works that way. Like, I don't know how. Like, I'm not saying that like that whole that niggas say in the first line is not true. But if everybody has the same story, if 10 niggas have the same story, 5 of them niggas is lying. They just want to say that they slept with an older woman, and they probably never did.
I mean, that could be very well true. However, I would err on the side of caution with that because I never want to be like, "Oh, you lying about somebody being taken advantage of."
Yeah, I get what you're saying 100%. I also want to say at the same time, most of these niggas that have this story, like, I'm just 100% say it. Like, most of these niggas are goddamn lying. Most of these niggas didn't get no pussy till age 24. But they want to make this. I've been fucking since I was 12. You a goddamn lie, my nigga.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, some people do lie on their dick.
And that's the thing. You're listening to other people and you building up a story to big you. Like, and that's the thing because as men, most men believe that if I say I was fucking older bitches when I was a kid, most people think my dick the shit. Like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop doing that, my nigga. You don't, like, that's not the thing. That's not it.
Yeah. Or maybe they're saying it in a bragging type of way and not realizing what they're talking about is being taken advantage of.
Exactly. That's why I don't lie about certain shit. Like that's why I say, like, nah. I was finger banging and, like, you know, getting head and all that shit when I was a kid. But I didn't never put my my member inside of a woman until I was 7 fucking teen. I'm like, I ain't about to lie on that shit.
Yeah.
I ain't about to do that. Like, nah, I was doing other shit because that's what niggas was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't about to be on no extra, and I'm not about to. Everybody knew I that's not a thing. Like that's not something that I can even act like didn't happen. Like, everybody in the world knows, like, nigga Lily like older women. So, like, that's been the thing.
Yeah.
So I ain't got to lie about none of that shit. So that's why I be telling people, like, don't be on no, like, don't do that. Don't be on no extra shit. You ain't got to lie on nothing. Like, especially as a man, stop lying on certain things. Just be who you are, my nigga.
Right.
Like, I was a nigga that like cartoons and fucking Power Rangers and was still doing the shit that y'all niggas say y'all was doing. Y'all wasn't doing that shit. Y'all was too busy being around niggas trying to be tough. Let's just be honest.
Yes, it would be great for people to be honest, but we know that's not gonna happen. Ashton says, my son is 17 and I don't think he's ready for a peach yet, for real. I hope you're right.
I mean, kudos to your son, bro.
Yeah. I definitely hope you're right. Because I feel like there's I feel like there's more things to focus on.
Exactly.
Than that.
Like,
but we all know, but we all know, you know, that's not everybody. And, you know, puberty be pubertying.
Puberty and, like, oh man, like, even saying that,
right?
Even saying that makes it makes a world of difference for me. Mm-hmm. Saying that because I know what that is, because when puberty hit me, it was just one of those things where I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, like, regardless of the situation. And, like, I'm not, and, like, because puberty hit me young, like, but I wanted to, like, I wanted to have intercourse. But I was good with what I was getting, because I was ejaculating, because I want to be professional when I say this.
I can tell.
Yeah, no, because I don't want to. One, I don't want to condone it. Like, I don't want to make nobody think that, like, that's the thing to do. Like, ooh, yeah, because shit. Whereas Lily was getting pussy at that night. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I was content, but yeah, like when puberty kick in, puberty be puberty, and like you'll do that. I wasn't, to be quite honest, with myself and with the audience. Anybody my age, nobody liked me. So for older women to like me, I took a heed of that. Nobody wanted to hang out with the nigga that wanted to read comic books and watch Power Rangers. Like the fuck no. Like, to be quite honest, I would, yeah, no. Yeah, and I grew up in the hood, nigga. I'm not one of those niggas that I never grew up in the suburbs. We was poor. I grew up in the hood, and I still was that guy.
Yeah. You know, I felt like nobody liked me either. But I don't know if it's just like a game or if it's legit. But I've had like a handful of people be like, I used to. No, didn't know that. Nobody told me.
You know what? I will automatically, and I say this with the utmost respect, but I will automatically, I won't block you, but I will automatically make sure you cannot DM me no more if you tell me that. Years later, if you like, I always had a crush on you, like, get the fuck out. Like, you can no longer DM me.
Yeah.
Because, bitch, I was around you all day. What are we talking?
Like literally every day.
We could have been, I could have been got that pussy and moved on. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna wait till you're 5 kids down the line and think, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Like real shit, fuck out of here. Like, I don't care how much of a square people think I am. I ain't the square you think I am, my nigga. So stop playing with me like that. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Man, look, I don't know where I was, but apparently I wasn't on Earth because, or it's just game. I don't know, but yeah, I've had my fair share of people saying that to me after, and I'm just like, I didn't have a boyfriend for like 3 out of the 4 years of high school.
See?
So if you claim to have liked me since middle school, why didn't you say anything? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying.
And then it's like people were looking at me, and I maybe my tunnel vision was on 10 because I didn't know you was looking at me like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like some people I believe, because they would go into detail, and I'll be like, oh, okay. Thought we was cool. So, all right. Or this one person, I was like, I thought you liked my best friend. He was like, no, I don't like her. Well, could have fooled me.
Yeah, no.
Like it was weird. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but we take our lefts.
We do. That's the thing.
Yeah. So, Aaron Hall is missing.
Oh, hey man, this is my therapy.
Right.
This is my therapy.
It'd be like that sometimes,
Like if I tell it to the world, and then it's there, so I don't never have to lie about it again.
Yeah. True. So yeah, next up is Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb. So we all know Corey Holcomb has a show that is a podcast, the 5150 show. He's been having this show for a very long time. Yeah. Corey Holcomb is a comedian who says a lot of harsh things in his comedy. Some find him funny, some don't. But he definitely circles outside of the box. or not circles, but colors outside of the box, with his comedy and what have you. And yeah, so he had Anton Daniels on his show. Some people look at him in a similar way, excuse me, because he's a YouTuber who has a couple of channels on YouTube. Excuse me. And he gives his commentary on a lot of news. And a lot of people find him controversial because he goes against the Black community. Not necessarily the Black community as a whole, but like the general census of a Black community's thought on a particular topic. He may think otherwise.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people find him controversial. I've only watched, I think, maybe one video of his, and that's when he was talking about Diddy in the video. There was one video in particular that he watched and gave his commentary on. But other than that, I don't subscribe to him or anything like that. It's just, I just don't like, he's not nobody that's really on my radar. And I was heavily engulfed in the Diddy of it all. So he came up. I watched this video and I moved on. So but yeah, he was on Corey Holcomb's 5150 show, and they got into a verbal kerfuffle. And
That's a good way of saying that. Yeah.
I try. So in their exchange, things went from one level to another because Corey said that Anton was kissing white folks' ass. And Anton replied, "Well, you're sucking black folks' dick." Yeah, things took a turn. There was a young lady that was sitting in between them. I think it's his co-host. Yeah. Corey told her to trade seats with him, and so he got into Anton's face. Anton did not back down. Then it got to the point where Anton was like, "All right, well, let's go outside. I'm with it." And Corey never got out of his seat. Then things after some time, things kind of de-escalated, and they tried to continue the show. When they tried to continue the show, it went left again. So before it got to another screaming match, Anton was just like, "You know what, I'm cool." And he went on ahead and said he was going to leave. Corey agreed that that was the best thing for him to do. And after a very short exchange, Anton went on ahead and left. So then Corey talked his shit after he was gone. This went viral. And the internet is split right down the middle. They are split right down the middle. A lot of people initially, when it went viral, a lot of people was like, Anton sunned him. And we never seen like Corey really get sunned like that. And for it to have come from Anton makes it all the more greater. Then there were some people that was just like, Corey told him to say that shit again and he didn't do it. Then there's some people that was like, they both was in the wrong. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
Both of these individuals are right. Regardless of how you want to pick a side and say this and this and this and this, Anton and Corey were both right. Corey was right by saying on this podcast, you have not yet said anything negative about a white man. Anton was right by saying all you do is dick suck black people, and you are hypocritical because you don't even like black people. Like, if I watched it, so it's like I understand why both of them were clashing, because both of them are two individuals, two black male individuals that are opinionated and go through this category of they're their own main character syndrome, where they're always going to clash, because can't nobody come out of this right in those situations. Now, I'm not saying that both of them cannot have a conversation with another black man. I'm saying when you don't think this black man is equal to you or above you, you are always going to have a problem with what they say when it concerns the problem of you.
Yeah.
Like that's the issue, because I think I've seen Anton and certain shit that he's been on. I actually view his page. I actually subscribe to him, and the same with Corey. So, and I know when they feel somebody is superior to them or above them, they don't argue with it. But when you're dealing with an individual like that, and they feel like both each other are wrong on their points of view, yeah, it's going to be a problem, 100%. Now, the elephant in the room, the whole walking up to Anton for Corey, that was him. That's that old Chicago coming out of him, trying to intimidate. That didn't intimidate him at all.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm never gonna say that Corey or Anton looked bitchified in any of those moments. But what I will say is this: if it was one of those things where I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on what I said, you can't tell me say it again and I don't say it again.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're right, because they're older men, and and older men know that you will win more wars with words than your fist. So I'm not saying it was wrong, but if Corey would have told me, say I suck dick again, I would have looked him dead in the face and say, you suck dick of black people. And I would have threw a punch right then and there, because I don't know what you're going to do in those moments, but I know I'm never going to back down with what the fuck I said. What I said is what I said. And if you say that shit again, in my mind, from where I grew up, that means as soon as I say it, you going to try to fight. So as soon as I say it, I'm going to throw a punch at you. Bitch ass nigga, you suck dick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But that's me. Also, I'm talking about two individuals that are in their 50s. So what we don't want to see is individuals who are established and are millionaires, that are fighting like that. So I do understand why it didn't go the way it went. What I will say was wrong is Anton is a rage baiter. Corey is somebody that stands on his own, because everything he built from his own, is ground up. So when you have somebody that got it out the mud and an individual that's a rage baiter, they're always going to continue to clash. I
feel like he's a rage baiter as well.
I don't think Corey Holcomb is a rage baiter, just because everybody from the jump, everybody knew what Corey Holcomb was about. Corey Holcomb is a comedian that says things to piss people off. That's not a rage baiter.
What is that then?
That's just somebody that I'm a comedian. I'm going to say things as a comedian, and I'm going to just piss you off on what I say. A rage baiter is somebody that like actually that's what their whole MO is, I guess. Like Antoine is not. He doesn't. He has other businesses, but his main business is to piss people off. Corey Holcomb's main business is to make people laugh
and piss people off.
He pisses people off while he's making people laugh.
But that's his shtick.
So, okay, so I'm and you are 100% right. But my thing is this: it's one thing to do it as this is my thing that I try to piss people off is my business, where I try to make people laugh, and if I piss people off, fuck them. Like,
but he's doing it deliberately. That's his stick. That's his thing. That's his style. His style is to piss people off and make it funny in the process. That's him. So, like, yes, he does it on a comedy stage, but nonetheless, he's a rage baiter.
I mean,
it doesn't matter how you package it, but the core is a rage baiter.
I give you that. I will 100% give you that. I won't pull no punches, or I won't try to make no defense about that. Yeah. So you got two rage baiters. So when you have two rage baiters, when it gets to a point where it becomes too hostile, they should not continue to talk to each other. I think that's what the issue was, because at the end of the day, Antoine, he already knew he was gonna get more and more views on his YouTube channels because of this than anything else. So he's going to continue to dig into you off, even when, because that's one thing I will say, because I watched the whole interview. Corey tried to, and when I say this, I want to say this with the utmost respect. Corey Holcomb tried to turn that around, and Antoine still continued to dig at it. Now, because Antoine is a rage baiter, he knew that was going to get Corey into the zone. And he loved every bit of that. That's why he didn't react to certain things. You got to think about it. These are two black men. And I say out of respect, you can yell and you can say whatever you want to say to me. But when you start talking about my lady, that's when I'm going to trip out.
That one is lady though.
You can say whatever you want to say about me, but I don't give a fuck if this is not my wife. If I brung that, say for instance, if I brung you into a podcast where they just wanted me to interview, but we get into it and then we calm down, but then I talk again and they turn around and say, you and your bitch get the fuck out of here. I'm not gonna let them disrespect you.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a bit different. The chick that he brought with him was his mistress.
Yeah, we know that.
So I feel like it will be a bit different if I were to go with you, were to accompany you somewhere, as opposed to if you had a mistress and that mistress accompanied you to said place.
I don't care if it's my mistress. I don't give a fuck if I just gave her $40 to get my dick sucked after this fucking show. You not about to do that.
I feel you on that. But
it's like your anger is towards me, so keep that anger towards me.
Right. And that was to be for real. That shit wasn't G. That shit was straight up bitch made. That shit wasn't cool or nothing like that Corey did, because Corey put his ass on blast. And that wasn't G. That was like the type of shit that he supposedly stand on. He went against that shit because you dry snitched at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that was bitch made, in my opinion. Even though he was straight up on some fuck shit, but that ain't your business.
That ain't it. It just, you know, for me,
he came here to do a job. He came here to do a job. And that's what you want. You want him to do a job. So let's get to the job. You dry snitching on that nigga for what? Because you mad he got the best of you? or you feel that he got the best of you. You know what I'm saying? Like that was weird. That was weird.
So and so this is my thing with that whole situation and that exchange. As you see now, Corey needs to go and Corey's been doing this podcast for years. Mm-hmm. Corey needs to go back into understanding that that 5150 show, that is your show. And even when someone tries to raid bait you into certain things, you gotta at one point you gotta let them stand on that, but you gotta let them kick away their own chair to hang themselves. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go into that. Like,
yeah.
Again, I'm never gonna be on that type of time to say you don't have to defend yourself on your platform, because 100% you got to, because how dare you come on my platform and be on that type of time. But at the same time, I say this: Antoine would have never told me let's get up and go outside. Because nigga, let's get up and go outside. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, that right there let me know, like, nah, this is just reviews.
And there's people that saying that as well. I watched a video today where the guy was like, this is content. You know? Like, they did this for content. I don't think it was deliberately done for content, but they are definitely capitalizing off of it.
Because we don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not cut from that cloth. And if y'all watch it, and if you watch the TikTok, you know I'm not cut from that cloth. Like, you can't tell me to step out. Hey, you got one time to tell me that, and guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to go outside. Fuck we talking about?
All right.
Am I lying? Like, if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying.
And Anton Dingles, you know, peace and blessings to both of you. You know,
like, nah, we going outside. We going outside. Like, nah. Let's just keep it real.
I tried.
You tried. But that's the truth. Tell the honest to God truth, cuz if somebody says, let's take this outside, what am I going to do?
You know, these Mucinex cough drops really be cough drops, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, you ain't got to say it. It's self-explanatory. I'm going out. You got me fucked up. You got me all the way fucked. And that's not saying that after that we can't be cool. But like, nah, you can't do me like that because if you don't like the way I talk, then we're gonna have to explain it on a different level. That's not gonna change how I talk, though. Yeah. It's not ever gonna change how I talk. You just gonna realize that whatever happens when we go outside, I'm still not gonna stop talking the way I talk. So for them to be that close and doing that shit, like, I get it, and that's what I'm saying. You niggas are old.
Yeah.
Y'all have to figure out another way to talk to each other. And I'm old too. So don't get it twisted.
You ain't that old though.
But for you 50-year-olds, y'all knew y'all wasn't gonna do that to each other. And even if if you had the inkling of doing it to each other, pause. If y'all had the inkling of stepping outside on that type of time, y'all wouldn't have continued to talk like that to each other. Mm-hmm. And so I do believe, and I have all the respect for Corey Holcomb, because I like Corey Holcomb. I believe Corey is one of the funniest dudes around now. Like, a lot of people don't think he's funny. I do believe he's funny. I like the way he commentates things. I do like the way he talks about situations of how we all grew up. I do like how he talks about situations when it comes in a situation of being a man. I do like how he addresses certain things, and the certain things he says are funny. Um, but at the same time, in that situation, nah, like once you know you got a problem with somebody, you got to allow that person to get out of your space. You can't keep allowing them to be there because they're not going to stop doing what they're doing. Now, the only way you're going to allow them to continue to be there is if you're going to sock them niggas in the mouth. You didn't do that. So that means we're not going to have that conversation, nor are we going to dry snitch that you got your mistress here. Because I'm pretty sure his bitch don't care.
But whether she cared or not, that is none of your concern.
Yeah. I mean, just keep it in the bean. Antoine is worth millions. His woman probably doesn't care, or or she already knows, and they have an agreement of what's going on. Like, so you trying to put that on blast means nothing to me. For me, even if I was 50 and I had an arrangement with my woman and you did that automatically allows me, as soon as I stand up, I'm gonna sock you in the mouth. Stop talking about shit. But that's just me. Like when Corey told me I got money for things like this, like I pay attention to what people say. So when Corey said I got money for situations,
I feel like he wasn't even talking to him when he said that, because he was talking about that mic, because you know he had the handheld mic and he kind of low key threw it and it rolled off of the table. So they was trying to get the mic and he was just like, man, I got money for shit like this.
Yeah.
But I took it personally because they're in the middle of an argument, which makes sense. But I don't think he was talking to him.
For me, I would have took it personally.
Yeah.
If he'd have told me that, I wouldn't even have told him I had money too. I would have just immediately socked that nigga in a chair.
I feel like I probably would have been fighting way before he could have had the opportunity to say that. So,
oh no! As soon as he told Darlene to move, I would have rushed him.
As soon as he told him to move, I would have stood up at the very least. You know what I'm saying? Because what are you trying to switch seats for? What are we doing? Like I gotta get in my stance. Because you ain't about to catch me slipping. I know how y'all get down on this motherfucking show. I watched it when y'all beat up Ari Spears. Okay, like you not about to catch me slipping.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cause ain't even no standing up on. As soon as that nigga would have told Darlene to move, I would have waited till she moved out the way, and I would have gave that nigga a spear so tough he would have never he wouldn't have realized what was going on. Like, nah, like, cause you're not about to play me like that. Cause again, like you said, I already know what type of time y'all be on over here.
Mm-hmm.
So like, as soon as you'd have been like, "I move," as soon as you'd have got up at that seat, you know where that seat would have been going, towards his fucking face. Like,
yeah,
fuck out of here.
Yeah, because
I don't have no problem with Darlene.
Right.
But I got a problem with you, my nigga.
About to do this. Yeah, we're not about to do this because all that talking and shit that you want to do, you can do that from over there. What you getting in my face for? You know what I'm saying? Like that was a violation. And then some people find that what Anton said was a violation. But again, you cannot dictate somebody's reaction to your action. Why is kissing ass okay, but me telling you that you sucking dick not okay?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's my whole thing in a nutshell.
But then in the same breath, as a black man, you know what it is when you say that to another black man. Whether it's in retaliation or not, you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have said, right, because you could have said back to him that you're kissing black people's ass. And it wouldn't have went to that level. You know what I'm saying? However, again, you cannot dictate somebody's reaction to your actions.
Exactly.
So don't tell me I'm kissing ass, and when I retaliate with you sucking dick, get mad. You the one started it. You started it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And just because I came harder it doesn't make me at fault because this all occurred because of you.
It's not. It's and so I'll address this like, if you're gonna have a conversation with somebody that you don't agree with, the first thing you cannot do is start criticizing them on a level where, as far as us as black men is concerned, you can't criticize them where it's gonna fuck with their ego. When you start chipping away at somebody's ego, of course they're gonna. As a black man, of course I'm gonna say something else, and I'm gonna dig into you. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna dig 100%. Like you're never gonna. I'm never gonna be in a situation like we're on a podcast right now, and I say, well, I don't agree with this person's views, and that person, and I'm trying to be cordial to this person, and they turn around and be like, well, I think you kind of for you to allow niggas to call you Lily, that's a bitch name. I'm gonna turn around and be like, if you see a bitch, hit a bitch ass nigga. Like I'm just that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be you have to be that kind. Like, and I get it. Like in those moments, and that, when it started right there, Corey fucked up when he said, I don't respect you. One thing about a black man, and I ain't saying, when I say black man, I mean a black man. I ain't saying because you black, you a man, or because you grown, you a man. I'm saying as a black man, period, somebody that's actually taking care of people. When you look that man in the face and say, this is why I don't respect you, you better have some real intention behind it, because you already know it's going to be some backlash in that, because you got that black man fucked up.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing a black man is going to do is die about his respect.
Yeah. That just is what it is. Corey took the respect away off the flip, so he can't get mad about what Antoine said after that, because you tried to take the respect away from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like he tried to sun him. It was like he had him there specifically for that reason, not to have a healthy debate, but to sun him, to disrespect him. And like some people be on that type of time, and Corey be on that type of time sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think going into it that it was going to be a positive interaction, no matter if they was talking about kissing ass or sucking dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was not going to be positive. They were not going to shake hands at the end.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know it was going to get that far.
Right.
Then when it got that far, in my mind, I'm like, none of them two niggas could have been me. Because first and foremost, I'm never letting nobody stand up in front of me. Like unless I got enough security where I know everything is getting taken care of, I'm never going to, as soon as that man stands up, I'm going to pick him up and throw him to the floor, because I don't know what's about to fucking happen. And one thing I'm not going to do is allow you to do something that jeopardizes my well-being. Mm-hmm. And that's not me being tough. I'm 100% saying that's not me being tough at all. That's just self-preservation. Mm-hmm. I'm not a tough guy. I've never ever said that I'm a tough guy. At the same time that I say I'm never a tough guy, I'm going to fight you. You got me all the way fucked up.
Yeah.
Like me not being tough doesn't mean I'm a bitch. I'm not a tough guy, but I'm not a bitch nigga either. Mm-hmm. And so I'm never going to let you run up on me like that. So I think for me, in that whole instance, like as soon as he did that, I would have immediately been on some extra.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And that's just where I don't have to tell you I'm from Kansas City. Mm-hmm. You're going to immediately realize I'm from Kansas City the minute you tell Darlene to get the fuck out the way.
Right.
I don't know if you know about Kansas City niggas, but we are dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So that is Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels and their interaction on the 5150 show. So the last subject is one that Lily holds near and dear to his heart. Is Mr. Fetty Wap. So you have the floor.
Hey man, shout out to Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap is out. You know, I'm one of those people, the people that love when our black men get out of jail. Um, Now, I'm not saying that for every black male, because a lot of our, I'll say this with the utmost respect, but some of our black males deserve to be in jail, deserve to get everything that went to them. Um, but Fetty Wap was just trying to provide, and what he did, he chose the wrong lane, and he got caught, and he went to jail. But shout out, he's out. Shout out to Fetty Wap being out. Um, but what is concerning me is his baby mothers. Um, One baby mother that everybody knows, Masika, was like, excuse me, and don't quote me on this, but it's like, I think she said he got out, and she wished he had died, or he's still a bitch ass nigga. And then another baby mama that he had went on social media and talked about um, how he wouldn't shed and fuck his son, um, all of these extra things. And some people would like eat off of this and they think that's cool. But this man just got out of jail and he's trying to piece his life together. The last thing he needs is the controversy of this, of his baby mamas having this animosity. You can have your animosity against me. I'm never telling any woman to be upset about someone that you had kids with that went to jail because they were doing the wrong thing. I'm never going to say that you're wrong for having a way about that. But I will say you wrong when you start blasting that man on social media. You haven't even gave this man enough time to prove that he can be a daddy. Like, I get it. Y'all relationship is done. It's over. It is what it is. It's a wrap. But to downplay him and to shoot him down like that when he is not even talking about y'all or disrespecting y'all in any level lets me know that like a lot of these men don't know who they're impregnating. And it's sad for an individual like Fetty Wap, who, as far as I know, when he was out, took care of everybody. And when he got locked up, it was certain people, like he said, looked out for him, and it was certain people that didn't. He never once downplayed any of his baby mamas. So for y'all to still downplaying, y'all wasn't in it for him in the first place. Y'all were just in it for a bag. Even with Masika, it's been plenty of people that came out and said, well, I ain't gonna say plenty of people, but it's a dude that came out and said, shit, Masika tried to set him up. And dude didn't do it because he was like, why am I going? That nigga ain't never did nothing to me. Why am I doing anything to this nigga?
She tried to set up Fetty Wap.
She tried to set him up. She tried to set him up a while back. Like, this is way before the Fed case and all that. Like, dude was like, nah, she and he had proof. He had receipts of numbers like that was hers and all that. And he was like, nah, she had called him like, no, I got his pistols. Wop. He had two of them. I got them. And like, I got them on me. You can come in here and whoop. And he was like, I'm not about to do that. And she was like, you a bitch ass nigga. Why, all this, like, shining that. He was like, what? Well, I ain't got no beef with Fetty. Why am I going to run up on this nigga?
You know, Masika is a interesting character. Like, she's entertaining on reality TV. Don't get me wrong. Like, and I mean, she's easy on the eyes, but some of the decisions she makes, it's like, huh? You know, so
I just
I don't know. Mm.
and I respect Fetty Wap. I respect anybody that actually takes care of people, because like at the end of the day, we got to cut out the bullshit. We'll say whatever about anybody. You'll say he a one hit wonder. He doing this. He doing that. He doing that.
Yeah.
Fetty Wap took care of a lot of people, and that was evident.
Mm-hmm.
That was like true to God evident. Like he even went back to selling dope to take care of everybody. It wasn't because he wanted to live a certain way. It was because he wanted to continue to take care of the people that he was taking care of.
Yeah.
You got to respect that.
Excuse me. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Because you got to learn how to tell people no, or I can't. And you know, we all got to learn that shit.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying that he's the only one got to learn it. Shit, I got to learn it sometimes
Yeah,
myself.
that's what I was about to say. I'm like, all of us have to learn that, but at the same time, like,
but I'm not about to do nothing illegal, especially when I found a way out. And you know, the money ain't coming in like it was. So, yeah, mama, you got to go back to the workforce. I'm sorry. Baby mamas, you got to pay your own rent. I'm sorry. You know, it just is what it is.
And that's 100% right. But it's one thing, like, because I'll just say this for me as a man. I feel like sometimes you get into a situation where a lot of people don't understand what it is to be like a sole provider. But I've been through this situation. I'm living in. I've been living situations like that. When you're the sole provider, like, you have to get it by any means necessary, and that risk is always on you, and you know that risk is always on you.
Mm-hmm. But what? How beneficial is it? But how beneficial is it when you go to jail?
It's not. And so the thing about it is, and when I say this, I'm not telling anybody to do this. But when you take these penitentiary chances, because that's how I grew up. I grew up understanding penitentiary chances. When you have those penitentiary chances, everything has to have a contingency plan. So I know I'm about to be like, I got it's an OG that I got. Love this man to death. This man used to be like, nah, I know they gonna come get me, because I know somebody gonna tell. But he had shit lined up. So when you take these penitentiary chances, you got to have these certain things into play. This OG that I'm talking about, like, his sister was down for him. His sister had the bulk of his money, made sure his kids was good, and then by the time he got out, she didn't fuck his money over, and like helped him do what he's doing now. But everybody's not like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen to everybody. Nope. But with that being said, that's what I'm saying. I do know what it's like to, like, make those penitentiary chances, not because you want to be flashy or you want to have certain things. It's like, you want to create generational wealth. You just don't know, or nobody's giving you the path to do it. And so you have to go back to what your know-how is. And a lot of us, a lot of our know-how is selling dope. It's just you get caught up in that. Because we don't know how to sell dope like white people sell dope. White people sell dope, and it's called the pharmacy. We only know how to sell dope from the street. So it's always fucked up. But even with that being said, um, Fetty Wap is one of those people that never ever tried to do anything to like downplay or disrespect the people that he tried to take care of. So when they start doing that, when they start downplaying and disrespecting him, that's an issue for me. This is that's why I don't like it. Because I'm like, Fetty Wap, you want to call this nigga like it they want to call him a has-been ass rapper or a one-hit wonder. Fetty Wap had hits. Fetty Wap.
Can't nobody with a straight face call Fetty Wap a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, like y'all saying all this bullshit. Even if that was him, y'all was still going home sucking this nigga dick.
No. Move, dog.
like
nah. move, nah.
Like this what it is.
Say it again.
Like you can't downplay Fetty Wap. Like don't downplay Fetty Wap. Anybody that's gonna get on any type of social media or any platform that downplay Fetty Wap, y'all are out of y'all rabbit ass mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fetty Wap for I will say for the span of at least 3 years had this shit on lock.
I wouldn't say 3.
I'm gonna say
he definitely had 2015 for sure. 2015 was his and his only. I'll give you 2016, but
so that's 2.
I'm not giving you 17.
I'm gonna give you 17. You know why I'm gonna give you 17?
Why?
Because he started executive producing things on the back end. So he was executive producers of a lot of things.
Okay, I get that.
So I that's why I said I will give him at least 3 years. He had this shit on lock. Y'all got Fetty Wap fucked up.
Yeah, he made a lot of money. And he was doing like some responsible things. Cause I started following him on Instagram like in the beginning stages, and I remember him showing off how he accumulated all this money and he was actually doing right by like paying all his fines and stuff like that. Like he was bragging about that. Like that was a thing for him. He was happy about that.
Yeah.
You know? And I just thought that always sticks out in my head because that was a positive thing. But and in the same breath, he has always had issues with his baby mama since the jump. Like
I get it. I get it. And the reason why
baby mamas.
And the reason why is because he didn't know, and that's just the thing with anybody, man or female. You don't know who you are having children with. Mm-hmm. You don't know what type of person this is. You're just it's cool for you to be around because like, and when people start putting on these cameras and they start flashing these lights and they start doing all these extra things, you get caught up and enamored in that, and you don't even pay attention to the motherfucker that's right there with you. Mm-hmm. And that was, I think that was Fetty Wap's Achilles heel. 1 is because he was high all the time. 2 is because not only am I high all the time, I'm in this limelight. I'm not paying attention to what these motherfuckers is about. I'm just liking the titties, the ass, all that. Like, I'm not asking what's your favorite color. Like, and I hate to say something so remedial like that, but that's the truth. Like, you gotta know. Like, you gotta know these things. If I'm gonna raw dog you at the end of the night, I at least need to know that your favorite song is this. Like, what are we doing? But he wasn't doing that.
Yeah. Some people don't care to know that.
And that's why you go through those motions, and that's why you have this thing. But I really do think when it's all said and done, I really do think it is terrible for 2 of his baby mamas to downplay him like that, especially when he first got out, because these are like the first 3 to 4 days this man got out, and they're already downplaying him like he's not doing enough. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I am trying to get there. I have to do these interviews. I gotta go back to getting this bag. What the fuck are we doing? Why are y'all downplaying me?
Mm-hmm.
Give me enough time to make it right for you.
Yeah, right.
But
But
saying what you're saying,
we have DJ watching, so hey.
what up, DJ?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, give me enough time so I can, you know what I'm saying, so I can make it right for my kids. Like, because you got to understand with an individual like Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap knows he has children by multiple women, and he just got out of jail, and he has a woman. Like it's one thing to just have like a bunch of baby mamas. He has a bunch of baby mamas and a woman.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things that he has to do.
Yeah, didn't you say something about like there's a baby mama that's mad he didn't come home to her or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think both of them. I think
well, he got like 50
the chick from Jersey and Masika, both of them are mad that he was like really riding with the woman that didn't argue and didn't call him out and didn't like disrespect him all the time. Like he really just stayed with her, ride with her, got clean while he was locked up and stayed with her. Like I think they mad about that. And that's I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is.
I thought Masika was mad because he was, making all these like jail promises and stuff, and then went in as it pertains to their child. And then when he came out, he didn't come straight to see her child. I thought that's what her issue was.
Even if that's the case, he can't do that.
Right.
Like, he can't do that. Like, legally.
That's what I was confused because I'm just like, why you just didn't take the child to him?
Yeah, legally he can't do that. Legally he has to show up in the place that they appointed him to go to. Because like, I don't know if people understand this. Like, and I'm not gonna be one of those people to be like, this is how jail works and wah, because I've never been in those situations, but I know people that have been in these situations. So I can tell you 100%, you can't just fly out to a certain spot to be around certain people because you told them you was gonna be. You gotta be wherever court appoints you to be. If they say, hey, we about to let you go, if you're still on parole or any type of paperwork, you have to provide where you're going to be, and you need to be there. Yeah. They're going to give you a certain amount of time because they understand you're free. You're going to run around and all that, but they're not going to allow you enough time to do all the extra. They're just going to allow you enough time to hang out. Hey, how y'all doing? Love you. Kiss my mama. Bop, bop, bop. And I got to be here at 8 o'clock because they about to call. If I'm not here at 8 o'clock, they about to come get my black ass and take my black ass back to jail.
Yeah.
I don't think people really understand that.
Yeah. Right.
Like, so all of them, like, he only spent such and such. Like, the chick from his hometown was like, he only spent a certain amount of time. That's all the time he had. And he still had to go see other people.
Yeah. But with all of that being said, you come into the internet to tell us for what? What you expect us to do? Like, okay, he didn't spend time with his kids the amount of time that you feel he should have spent. What do you want us to do about that? Don't play trap queen? Okay. Now what? Like, I don't understand why we needed to know this.
And then you say, fuck this nigga son. Like, my thing is, and I'm a stickler on it, I don't care. I only got one baby mama. I love her to death. She's upstairs. If I had multiple, you know what none of them could do? Disrespect each other. That is not what I'm gonna allow. But
that's you. That's not a lot of niggas out here.
Yeah,
because a lot of niggas out here think that shit is cute. And a lot of niggas out here keep the shit going. And a lot of niggas out here, they will, pillow talk between their baby mamas and shit. And when they before they baby mama was their baby mama, that was either like a chick they fuck with or their girlfriend or whatever the case may be. And if they had another baby mama, they talking mad shit about that baby mama to their chick, the chick they fuck with, whoever the chick is. And then when that chick gets to saying shit back, they up here having a whole kiki about the bitch, right? Now you didn't made this your other baby mama, and now they still got beef. So yeah, they still gonna be talking. So like some niggas they make that environment. They keep the shit going.
Yeah,
And
that's
the shit is cute. The shit is cute to them and the shit ain't cute at all. I don't think I
bullshit.
never thought that shit was
That's
cute. You're not
100%
about to
bullshit.
talk about her like that to me. Like you're not about to do that.
Yeah, that's 100% bullshit. Because I got a kid with this woman,
Yeah.
so I gotta hold her in some type of respect because I respect myself. I'm never gonna turn around and be like, oh, no, this is what I don't like, and this is why I like. I really do respect Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap, when he got out, never disrespected any of his baby mamas. I don't care if he used to do it. I'm only saying what he's doing now. He
Yeah.
never disrespected them. So to turn around and disrespect him, um, that's a flaw to me, because if that's what the type of time we on, then you have to respect what type of time I be on when I don't fuck with you. Like, because you did that and then you put it on social media.
Yeah.
Again, I only got one baby mama. My baby mama had all my kids. I have I have a beautiful son. I got a daughter in heaven, and that's it. But if it was one of those things where I had a daughter in heaven and then I went somewhere else and had another son, um, do you think I would let them or allow them to beef? Even if y'all don't have to like each other, but y'all gonna be cordial around these children. Period.
Yeah,
What
but
I'm not gonna
you're
do is
the one
build
that's
a problem
setting that
between the both of
atmosphere.
them.
But you're the one that's setting that atmosphere. Some of these niggas out here not setting that atmosphere. And they think that shit is cute that one is talking about one with them. You know what I'm saying? Or one is talking about the other with them. They think that shit is cute.
Yeah,
That
and
shit
that and that's dumb to me, because why would you do that?
Cause some men
Because
are messy. They like that mess.
yeah, but that's dumb. And
They
to me,
think that
it's
shit
dumb because
they think that shit is cute. Them having two chicks at odds over them. They think that shit is cute.
it's cute for what though? And that's my
Oh,
whole.
I got these two bitches fighting over me. That's the type of time they on. They think that shit is cute.
Okay, I got chicks fighting on me, and I think it's cute. I have children by them, and my thing is those
All the more
children have
reason.
nothing to do with that. And
Now,
so,
now look at it. Look at it like in an aspect of like neither one of their baby mamas is with him. That's a extra added reason why he can say, even though it could be 100% false, but he can be like, they fighting over me, they want me back, and blah blah blah. Blah. They trying to fight each other over me, but jokes on them because I got another bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? They niggas be on that type of time.
and that's dumb to me. Like,
It's very dumb. It's very corny. It's
dumb.
whack. It's not what's hot. It's not what's up. It's all of the above.
Yeah, I just don't
But it's
understand.
also true. Like,
Yeah, I just don't understand it, because you the down player, you the talk, oh, she a hoe, or she this or she that. She wasn't none of that when you was in that motherfucker eating ass.
exactly.
So
Exactly. I used to date this
keep it a
dude
beat.
that all he did was talk negative about his baby mama, and I had to put a stop to it. I was just like, dude, you can't be talking about her like that, because it wasn't like that when you was fucking her and when you had that kid. It wasn't like that. And then I used to be like, okay, but what did you do? And he never took accountability for anything. Nothing was his fault when it came to her. I'm just like, wow, that's the type of time you on. Like, that's crazy to me, because I'm like, whatever she's doing, there's something that aggravated her to the point to do that. Because don't nobody just wake up in the morning and be on that type of time. Like, you
Exactly.
did something.
I don't get it, and it's not me being on no extra. I'm not being that kind of, like, I'm trying to downplay men, because all men are not like this. or all black men are not like this. But my thing is, you can't talk about a woman when you did the most with this woman. Like I'm it's like, even if this woman was quote unquote the Jezebel of the hood, you still decided to have a baby with her.
Yeah.
So that means that you need to hold her in some type of respect. I'm not saying you got to be with her. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, you have to be that knight in shining armor that comes to her distress every time that something's going on. But you still have to,
that. And I
yeah,
ain't saying
but
that the
you
shit
still
she
have to
was
respect
right.
her.
Yeah, and
Because you have
I ain't
children
saying,
with her.
yeah, exactly. But I ain't saying that the shit she be doing is right, because she could be 1,000% wrong.
Exactly.
1,000% wrong.
Exactly. But you have to have the
Everything from
resolve.
that point on, she could be 1,000% wrong on. But there is something that you did. Like, you ain't just sat up there and not did shit.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
and so this is why coming to point into Fetty Wap situation, this is why I don't like how they're doing it, because he's not disrespecting them.
Yeah.
He's just moving on.
But he's not disrespecting them in public.
I don't think he's disrespecting them at all.
And you could be 100% telling the truth, but we don't know that.
We don't know that. But
But
like going at, like, even saying that, it's saying he's trying to get his bag back, and he's not disrespecting y'all. So for y'all to turn around and try to disrespect him for clout or to try to gain certain things, like it's one of his baby mamas is a SoundCloud rapper. So I'm pretty sure, and I can't, don't quote me on this, but I can say I think it's one of those where she did this because she wanted to get her views up.
It's possible.
You know, but you have, why are you disrespecting a man that didn't even downplay or disrespect you?
Maybe she asked for a feature and he said no. I don't know.
That ain't what, none of that happened.
I mean, we all know that.
You just own that. The funny part about it is, because like we can talk about Masika, but I'll talk about the one that's from his hometown. You a SoundCloud rapper, and you have a whole nother baby by a whole nother nigga. I ain't got nothing to do with you no more. You're not you not involved with me. Me and you don't fuck with each other no more on that level. For you to tell the social media world, fuck my son, it's crazy disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here, lady. Like, and I'm not gonna disrespect her at all, but I'm saying, get out of here, lady. What are you talking about? Like, you need to worry about I got 2 kids by you. I'm gonna try to make sure those 2 kids are good. You need to worry about that other one. Are you sitting up telling me fuck me? What about that other nigga?
What about him?
Like, is that Nick? Because you're still here single. So it ain't like let's make this make sense. You still over here by your motherfucking self. If you mad at me, I just got out of jail. I gotta make it up. I know I gotta make it up. I got a lot of shit I gotta do.
He got a lot of shit he gotta do.
Yeah, I got a lot of shit I gotta do. But hold on, bitch. What's going on with that random kid? Like,
that random kid ain't none of your concern.
Exactly. But my thing is this. Yeah. I know these 2 is mine in my Cat Williams voice. I know that one might be mine, but this one, who's that white baby? Like, you go after that nigga. If you struggling so bad, who's that white baby?
Oh,
Like
geez.
let's just call a spade a spade. Like
Mm.
you wasn't concerned. You was mad the first time, but you still had another baby with me, and then you had a baby by another nigga. Um, and you were cool when I was locked up. Now that I'm out, you got something to say? What's going on
It
with that?
could, but it could just 100% be a whole clout chase, especially if she a SoundCloud rapper. Like, of course you wouldn't hear shit from me while you was in jail because wasn't nobody thinking about your ass when you was in jail. Now that you out and you getting all this publicity, yeah, I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna try to trigger you in the process.
And
If it ain't work,
that's the problem with social media is
yeah.
because social media, for the most part, not all social, but for the most part, some social media strives so much off of the negative instead of the positive. I think it would have been a totally different lane if she would have got on social media and she was um applauding that Fetty Wap got out.
If that was the case, we would not be talking about Fetty Wap.
And we wouldn't. We wouldn't.
So what she did worked.
What she did worked, but did it work for her or did it work for Fetty Wap?
um, it worked for Fetty Wap. Yeah, because I don't even know who you're talking about.
See,
Like,
see,
and I
you
don't
did
even
that.
care to know
All
who
that
you're
shit you
talking
did,
about.
bitch, was for nothing.
Right. I don't even care to know who you're talking about to even try to go look her up and listen to her SoundCloud. Like, I don't care. So, yeah, it worked for Fetty Wap, especially with him staying silent.
Because
Because
that's what we
now the
supposed to do.
optics are that he don't be fucking with y'all. Y'all be fucking with him.
Yep. And
You know
that's
what I'm
the
saying?
and so
And
I
he could be the most deadbeat daddy of them all, but we don't know that.
yep. And he could be a piece of shit, but what he said made some I understand why he's not gonna say nothing because he's learned from certain people. When he said the people that had his back while he was locked up, one of them was 50 Cent. We already know how petty 50 is. He's learned this game. He's not going to I'm not getting baited into that shit. You got me fucked up, bitch. I'm about to make you burn.
Yep, and they probably are like, punching the air because he's not giving them the attention that they are desiring.
Yeah, Masika turned that shit all the way around.
Yeah.
Because when she realized it wasn't no fuel to that, she turned around and was like, nah, we had a conversation, blah, 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 blah. Fuck all that. You said it off the flip. It's still there. His kids are still gonna see that you said that. Like, he got out, still a bitch ass nigga, should stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
you
but
said that.
she does unfavorable things. So she does things that are in poor taste. Cause that whole video she did for her husband's funeral was weird as all get out. So you shot a whole music video.
Yeah.
At your husband's funeral.
Yeah, she's a
So yeah, I'm not gonna take what she says or does to heart because it seems like everything that she does is for clout.
she's a weirdo.
Yeah.
What I will say is this should be a wake up call to a lot of young black men out here.
Shit,
You
young,
got
older, in between.
anybody, anybody. You really gotta be careful with who you have children with
You gotta be careful.
because you want to make sure that your kids actually how can I say this being professional? You want to make sure that your children know that you love them 100% of the time. Even when you don't have time for them, everything you do is for the betterment of your children. I don't think any of us, and I can't say this for everybody, but I'm only saying it for men that really give a fuck. None of us ever want our children to be in a situation where they are worrying about how their mother or their father feel about each other, nor do they want to worry about situations where um, the world wants to fuel a problem between their mother and father.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, shout out to all the dads. Shout out to Fetty Wap for not even entertaining it, and shout out for to all the mothers and fathers that do not allow the internet to dictate what's going on as far as them co-parenting or just living a life with their children.
Yeah, yeah. So that is the Fetty Wap fiasco. But welcome home.
Welcome
Um,
home, baby. Listen, you know I don't want no black man being in jail unless they supposed to be.
mhm. Yeah.
I said that and I'll say it again. I don't want no black male being in jail unless you're supposed to be.
Hmm.
Because some of y'all
Yeah.
supposed to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that statement.
Stop
Some
saying
of them
free my
should
nigga.
be under the jail.
Yeah, stop saying
But
free my nigga when you know that nigga done shot 13 people. Like, ain't
yeah,
no free my nigga. That nigga need to go to jail.
no, he should have been in jail a long time ago. Like, but yeah, um, yeah. So shout out to Fetty Wap. I don't have any final thoughts. I just asked for prayer because school about to start back up next week, and I got 5 classes. So keep me in your prayers. But yeah,
You got a lot.
um, yeah, 5 classes and 2 jobs. You know, life be life, and
Man.
but yeah. So Jerry's final thoughts. Take it away.
Jerry's final thoughts. Um, this week I'm just gonna say this. Uh, be a self starter. We watch a lot of people always talk about um, how they don't have a leg up in life, or they don't have the background you have, or the education that you have, and they'll run on that excuse, and that's some bullshit, y'all. And the only reason why, because all of us go through the same thing. Like, I don't care if you're from an affluent family or you're from a poor family. You got to get it how you get it, any way you get it. I don't care if you selling dope. I don't care if you're working 2 jobs. I don't care if you're going to school. I don't care if you are getting education from YouTube. You have to self-start. You have to be the one to start your own engine. You got to do it. Nobody else is going to do it, y'all. A lot of people are going to tell you a lot of fluff and say, yeah, you're going through this in life because this is because of your background, or you grew up in a single mother household, or you grew up in an environment that wasn't good for you. And all of that is right. But at the same time, it's what do you want to do? I know a lot of people that are millionaires that grew up with only their mama. I know a lot of people that are millionaires that grew up with nobody. I know people that grew up in $1 million homes and are homeless. You have to self start. You have to say, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be one of those things where you're going to be like, yeah, I started this business and 3 months later, I'm a millionaire. It's not going to happen like that. Sometimes it does, but it's not all the time. You shouldn't look at the the outcome of what other people are doing and just focus on self-starting yourself. A lot of people do too much of worrying about how everybody else is doing instead of self-starting themselves. Start. Turn that engine on. Do something. I don't care how long it takes. If you have a passion about it and you're good at it, it's going to pan out for you. I promise you it will. You just have to be willing to self-start and do that. A lot of people don't do it. And then they get mad at certain people that they feel like they're more talented or more gifted than, that are doing more than them. But you know why they're doing that? It's because they learned how to start that engine by themselves. So learn how to self-start. Learn how to turn that motherfucker on and drive that bitch until the wheels fall off. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Well, thank you for Jerry's final thought. And this is episode 187 of the Ish We Talk. And we will see you guys for episode 188. Bye.
Exactly.